Hi, I'm Ajit Kumar Nair, psychologist providing online and offline support and guidance. Contact 944646 We all know the physical sensation of an abrupt confrontation, a sudden flush of heat behind the eyes, a noticeable tightening in the chest, and an absolute unshakable conviction that you are 100% right. In these high-voltage moments, your brain begins to whisper a compelling lie. It tells you that because your reaction feels noble and justified, whatever action you take next is automatically appropriate. When emotion takes the steering wheel and shoves logic into the trunk, doing what feels right in the heat of the moment almost always backfires. Trusting our immediate emotional instinct to deliver moral justice is a dangerous trap, and it routinely produces wildly inappropriate behavior. Take Mark, a dedicated project lead. His team just worked late into the night over the weekend to fix a technical bug caused entirely by another department. On a stressful Tuesday afternoon, a higher-level executive sends a mass email to 50 people. The message criticizes a slight delay in the project launch, subtly blaming Mark's team for slacking off. Mark experiences a wave of fierce indignation. He cares deeply about his team, and his internal monologue screams that defending them right now is the only honorable choice. He is caught in the righteousness trap. Anger is a unique emotion because it easily masquerades as moral virtue, tricking us into believing that an aggressive response is an obligation. His genuine desire to protect hardworking people has laid the perfect groundwork for a massive professional mistake. Let's freeze the timeline right here. Mark is currently drafting a fiery, passive-aggressive response, hovering his mouse directly over the Reply All button. Inside his head, an amygdala hijack is occurring. The brain's primary threat detector cannot differentiate between a physical predator in the wild and a social threat, like an unfair email. Once triggered, this alarm floods the human body with adrenaline, preparing the entire system to engage in a literal, physical fight. This chemical flood causes a total logic shutdown. The prefrontal cortex, your brain's center for long-term strategy, relationship management, and diplomacy, goes entirely offline. In this exact biological state, a human being is physically incapable of making a rational, diplomatic, or forward-thinking decision. Psychologists call this emotional reasoning. It is a cognitive distortion where we confuse the intense validity of our feelings with the wisdom of our resulting actions. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You aggressively tailgun them to teach a hard lesson about safe driving. A partner forgets a simple errand, and you use it as an excuse to bring up 5 past mistakes to prove a massive pattern of negligence. A waiter brings out the wrong dinner order, and you loudly demand a manager, convinced you are bravely advocating for yourself. Across all these scenarios, the biological hijack successfully tricks the brain into viewing a destructive escalation as a necessary act of moral justice. Back to Mark. He hits Reply All and sends his fiery email. For a split second, he feels like a hero delivering a masterclass in moral clarity. But look at the immediate fallout. The executive feels publicly humiliated and instantly becomes a permanent enemy. The collateral damage spreads quickly. Leadership labels Mark as volatile and unpromotable, and his own team is left feeling deeply embarrassed instead of protected. There is a critical disconnect between Mark's data and his actions. He was completely correct about the facts of the project delay, but his execution was entirely wrong. Having the facts on your side never grants you immunity from the consequences of handling a situation destructively. The goal here isn't to turn into a cold, emotionless robot. The objective is to intentionally build a buffer of time between feeling an emotion and taking an action. Start with the 10-minute buffer. Never hit send, raise your voice, or make a binding decision while your body is actively trapped in a fight or flight state. Force your logical brain back online by consulting your future self. Pause and ask, will the person I want to be tomorrow be proud of this reaction today? Emotions are fantastic notification systems that alert you when an issue requires attention, but they are terrible decision makers for solving it. Thank you for watching. Contact 944-646-7779. Remember, emotions exist to tell you that something matters. You must let logic decide how to handle it.